So y'all, like, I just been feeling little. I haven't been liking. Like, okay, my experience with weed is really weird. It's like a lot of people say, I smoke because I'm stressed, or I smoke because of so and so, and it's like, when I've been smoking recently, twice or whatever in the past weeks, 2 weeks, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month or whatever. I don't smoke often at all. Anyway, so like, both of the experiences were bad. I was crying, I was emotional, I was having a panic attack, and I don't even have those when I'm not high. I don't understand how, some people say, weed is good for me and it make things better. But for me, I feel like it's been making it worse, like way worse than it could ever be. Like, I don't experience things like that on a regular sober day where I'm not high at all. So it's like, it's just weird to me. It's like, I don't know, it's like the weed is trying to get me to work on my internal problems. And I felt like weed would try to brush over the internal problems. But I guess for me, the way it's affecting me is bringing all the problems to the surface. So it's like forcing me to go through the emotions that's in connection with these problems in my life, or in my heart, or in my spirit, and stuff like that. And it's like, I feel like that can be a good thing. I've been feeling really emotional, like, but when I don't smoke, I have been really standoffish, and like, my heart has been not open, and I haven't been receiving the word love for real, because I've been trying to guard myself a lot, to the extent to where it's making me seem emotionless or whatever. And then when I did smoke, it's like all my emotions just poured out. And I just was being who I really am in my heart, which is emotional, soft, and sweet, and fragile, and stuff. And then, but I be acting like I'm not, but I really am. You know what I mean? I don't know, it's so weird. It's just a weird experience for me. Because it was never doing that. Well, it was, but not to this extent to where, everything is just all over the place like this. Or like how it has been the other day when I did smoke. And it was just so bad to the point where I just wanted to not be high no more. Like, I kept having anxiety about being high. Like, I wanted to go away. Like, can it stop? And I don't know, like, that kind of stuff makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it just wouldn't go away, and I just felt so helpless and scared. And I know people always say that weed is from the earth and God made it and all this stuff, but obviously God didn't make freaking weed the way we use it today, type stuff. But everybody gonna try to say that, but you know what I mean. If we were meant to smoke it and the way we do, it would probably be like rolled up weed already on the ground for us to smoke it, not like we gotta engineer it and all this other stuff. Like, so obviously it's not made that way for a reason, but it could be. I mean, it's some positives, when people have, things wrong with their bodies and things like that. So I don't know, but I feel like it just depends on the way you're using it and why you're using it and who's using it. That's what I feel like. And I feel like since I'm just not where I need to be all the way, without weed, I feel like with weed, it's making it worse. And it's really identifying the problems, which could be a good thing. But at the same time, I don't want to go through those feelings with the weed. I would rather very much not go through it like that, because it's like scary, and that type of scary makes me feel like it's not from God. that type of fear. It's not the type of fear I've been experiencing, or anxiety is obviously not from God. So I don't know, the devil can use different forms of different tactics to harm you, like literally. So I don't know if that's good for me or freaking not. I don't feel like it really is. I feel like it's hurting me. So, and then I always think about everything that I do, everything that I do. So I think about long-term effects. I don't know how that's gonna affect my brain long-term, or affect anything long-term, or if I'm gonna be dependent on it eventually, or anything like that. Because when I did smoke, I smoked because I was super stressed out and crying. And then since I smoked while I was super stressed out and crying, when I smoked and got high, it's like it got 1,000 times worse. And I just felt like that was so weird. And it was just so much worse than I ever experienced before, to the point where I felt like I was going to pass out because I was hyperventilating. And I don't do that ever. Like, I don't hyperventilate. I don't freaking get that emotional to where I can't breathe and freaking about to pass out on the floor type stuff. Ever. I never got like that. I'm an emotional individual, but I cry, but I don't cry and start having anxiety and panic attacks and stuff, I never been like, my mental state has never been there. And of course I'm grown and I'm a young woman, and but that stuff never happened before. So that happening from that just made me feel like something is not right here. I feel like that's wrong, something is off, and it makes my heart feel confused and my spirit like uneasy. So I know when I'm feeling uneasy about anything, maybe I should just not do it, but I do appreciate some of the effects that it has had on me. It helped me to open my heart back up, and not be have my heart so hard and unable to understand or be, open-minded or open-hearted, whatever, because, I was just trying to guard everything, and I still am, but at the same time, now I'm a little more aware of it, and I'm just expressing how I really feel in my heart, regardless. Like how I used to when I was younger. When I was younger, whenever I say I was young, people probably like, girl, you still young, girl. I know I am, because that's my age. I'm really young, yeah. I used to think I was old, but no, I'm really not. When you look at the grand scheme of things, I'm like a baby. But, when I was younger, I was definitely living my life to the fullest, 1,000%, especially when it came to my emotions and my feelings and my heart, and just being so open and willing to be hurt based on how strongly I felt over a person, because I just wanted to express how I really felt, and it didn't matter, you feel me, if they hurt me or not, because I know in my heart I'm doing what I really want to do, and I really feel this way. And at the end of the day, if I die today or tomorrow, at least I was doing what I really, really felt in my heart, and I was being true to myself. That's how I was operating back then, because that's really how I really am in my heart. But then at the same time, girl, it can't be that gullible now. So now I don't operate like I used to. So my heart been kind of like chained up, if you will. So like, it's like really, really hard for anybody to get in there, you feel me? So it's like, and it's really hard for me to really express how I really, 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 really feel in my heart sometimes, out of fear of being hurt or my heart breaking or whatever. So, but in the recent days, since I had that experience with the Mary Jane, I've been feeling like how I used to feel a little bit. I mean, I'm still cautious, obviously, because I just how I am based on everything I went through in the past. It's just always like that. But then again, now I'm really just not being mean or just expressing anger out of being hurt or being afraid. I'm just, being my crybaby self. Not my crybaby self, but I'm expressing how I really feel in my heart. My soft, fragile, nature, my feminine energy, how I really am in my heart. And I don't know, it's like it feels good, it feels scary, but at the same time, you only live life once. You gotta do what you gotta do. If you feel like something and all that, then just express how you feeling, honey. It is what it is. And it don't matter, it's your life, it's not nobody else's life. At the end of the day, if you get hurt, you always can bounce back from everything. It's never the end of the world. And I experienced that firsthand countless times. I never die off of being hurt. It's not that serious. You be hurt, but then again, you gotta get back up and get back to it, because the world goes on. And then I be noticing that when I'm like in a room crying, like people outside having fun, traveling the world, and getting into nature and eating good food and all of that good stuff. And it's like, girl, at the end of the day, ain't no reason to be crying. There's no reason to be crying. And there's so much beauty in the world, and there's so much to do, and there's so many ways to rebuild yourself and get back, how you was, girl. It's so much opportunity. It's no time to waste. And not in a like rushing it way, like, girl, you can't grieve, or you can't do this, or girl, stop being weak. No, it's okay to grieve and feel emotion, and obviously, because that's how you're gonna heal from it. But you can't just let that be your whole life after a tragic event, or else that's really just gonna be your whole life. You don't want that to be your whole life forever, because you're gonna miss out on everything that's in front of you, all the beauty in front of you, waiting and hoping and wishing and crying. And no, because it's no reason to stay like that forever. It's okay to be like that for a little while, but after a little while you gotta get up and get back to it, period.